So is it already recording?
Yeah, it's ready.
Okay, so good evening, everybody. Welcome to our sixth encounter. Today we're going to have a new student. Edward is going to be with us this time. Edward, I want to introduce to you Ruth. We have also Jonathan and Olga is with us. So it's going to be the five of us this opportunity. So Edward, can you please tell us real quick a little bit about yourself, please?
Yes, sure. Well, my name is Edward Aleman. I'm from Cartagena, and I was born here, and I grew up here too. I work as a teacher, as an English teacher, and I've been a teacher for over 8 years. I have a 6-month-old daughter, little daughter, really beautiful, sweet daughter, and I'm happily married.
Okay.
Okay, so it seems that you're really living a very happy life, right?
Yeah, sure. And happily married, yeah.
Fantastic. So, guys, I would like you guys to tell a little bit of you to Edward this time. Ruth, you can get started. Go ahead. A little bit about yourself to Edward, okay?
Okay, hello, Edward. I am Ruth, and I work as a business management. I am 30 years old and single. I don't have any children, so that's it.
Okay.
You're very happy too, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Olga, what about you? Give a little bit of yourself to Edward, please, real quickly.
Okay, my name is Olga. I am studying degrees UNAT, Fusagasugá. I am 53 years old. I am from Facatativá. But I live in Fusagasugá. I am married. I live with husband Fernando. I have 2 sons and 1 girl. One pet named Rose.
Okay, all right. Olga's dog is always wanting to take part in our classes because he's always barking, right, Olga?
Yes. Okay.
Good. And last but not least, Mr. Jonathan. Go ahead, Jonathan. How are you? Give a little bit of yourself to Edward this time.
Okay, hello Edward, nice to meet you. My name is Jonathan Contreras. I am from Cucuta. It's a small city near Venezuela, as you know. And I have a beautiful daughter, okay, like you, but I am not married. I am a single happy man. So
Okay.
I am very happy they're married.
yeah.
I'm married too, and I'm happy too.
I am an example for me.
Okay, so
Okay.
it was a pleasure.
Okay, good. Nice to meet you guys.
Good.
Nice to meet you guys.
Be married, makes your happiness more complete, right, Edward?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't believe.
Exactly.
Okay, good, great introduction. Congratulations to you all as usual. Edward, let me tell you that you have a really good group, and these guys are gonna, really give it to you today. So it's important to, be prepared because they're always up and about for all kind of situations. Okay.
Okay.
So, as you guys know that we are almost, we're approaching, the end of these encounters. This encounter number 6 is about IELTS Part 1 once again, which is about International English Language Testing System, okay? As we approach, to the end of these activities, it's very important for you guys to express yourselves as much as possible, right? And you guys have no problem with that, okay?
Okay.
Good. The language objective this time, as you all know, is to recognize the importance of preparing for IELTS, okay, oral examination. That is at the International English Language Testing System. You guys were sent a video to watch. That's right, okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and as far as you should remember, you are supposed to give me a summary, okay, of what you learned from that encounter, okay? That is like a real, exam of IELTS in England, okay? So after watching the video, I don't know if you guys, watched it once or several times, you are supposed to give me a summary of what the video is about, okay?
Okay.
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 All right. As the encounter goes on, you're supposed to be part also of like an interview, okay? Like a real like interview, of IELTS. So I'm gonna be, giving you the opportunity. I'm gonna be like interviewing you one by one. We're gonna be doing that, like I said before, one by one. The others can pay attention, and if after you do it, if you guys are in a rush, like for example, Jonathan is in a rush today. So Jonathan, you can be number one. I can do the interview with you and you can leave the conversation if you are pleased, okay?
Right. Perfect.
All right. So, but first of all, first things first. Let's start by, hearing your summary one by one of the video, okay? So let's give the ladies the chance to start. Ruth, would you mind starting by giving us your summary about the video you watched this time?
Okay, the summary about
Okay.
video was the part one of IELTS, that is the exam. So in the part one, the examiner is going to ask about myself, about my life, about first of all, we have to do an introduction, and then the examiner is going to ask about, for example, what I like, what I do, what about my family, maybe about the things I do, about maybe my profession, my career, and then after that, he's going to ask, or she is going to ask something about, for example, if I like something before when I was a teenager, and then what I like now, and why that thing I liked before I don't like now. I mean, why I change my favorite thing now. So we have to, I mean, what we have to say is before I liked something like, for example, in the video was talking about the movies, and after that, the kind of movie, of the sort of movie that I like now. What else? At the beginning, okay, this is the part one of the exam, of the test, of the exam. It's talking about my life.
Hello.
Here we can listen to you.
Your microphone, teacher.
Hello.
Hello?
Sorry,
Please?
I didn't
Yeah.
notice. Sorry. Olga, it's your turn. Would you mind giving us your summary about the video, please, real quick?
Yes, the similar speak the root is the part one is the use 1 minute prepare time word the exam. Read all question or careful the first questions. Write note for main explanation and examples. Use two words for note. Is very important to practice with other people or partner. For example, the topic vacation argument, my life or your favorite pet. Is the part one you must opportunity the practice speak English the variety topics. The part two use notes to write down. Too often student write notes. I use the use your notes for the question the teacher on interviewed.
Okay, yeah, pretty good. Jonathan, what about you?
Okay, my brief overview about the video is that okay, part one is only personal question, right? It's about hobbies, interests, weather, what do you like to do, etc., etc. Right? So I think it's most important to start well, okay, in this part because you have to be really confident, yeah, really confident, yeah, because in this part it's very easy, okay. There are simple questions about yourself, okay. So that's part one of the exam.
Anything to say about part two?
Okay. So now, as to here in in this speaking part, we saw the part one because this exam has three. This part of the exam, the speaking section or component, has three parts: part one, two, and three. And as we noticed, they did part one, where the examiner asked questions about the person, about personal information to her. She asked her about her name, etc. And also other questions related to her job. In this case, he asked about her job. And we noticed that in the video she said that she's working on accounting, and she's interested on that. He also asked questions or follow-up questions about the topic. For example, he asked, why do you like accounting, etc. And she begins to explain or give more details about her. So basically, in this opportunity, he asked questions about her work in the second topic. But as we noticed in the listening of that we have to listen for the quiz, they say that they could ask other questions about, for example, family, home, studies, interests, and other topics. So any of those topics could be asked in the IELTS, and so we have to be prepared beforehand, just to get a good score in this part one of the IELTS, because the examiner is going to be looking for good vocabulary, a really good command of the vocabulary. That's why you have to do some research before presenting these tests, so that you can express your ideas with a variety of words related to the topics he asks. So this is one of the main characteristics or features of this interesting exam or test.
Fantastic. Wow, 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 wow. Awesome. Really, really good job. Excellent. Yeah, it's very clear it's very important to be clear that it's three parts. Now we're speaking about simply part one. Excellent. You guys have given, a very good, summary, each one of you, of what the exam is about. As we all know, IELTS, English language testing system, right? They are going to evaluate the four abilities. So you guys have to be very, very well prepared for this examination because, like I said before, in other encounters, these people are not joking, okay? These people get to the point immediately. And I really like what Edward just said. We have to prepare ourselves very well before encountering these kind of people, these kind of examinations, because, that is what this is about. It's about being prepared and doing and giving an excellent job when we have the chance to do it, okay? I don't know if you guys have anything else to add about the examination. Let me know if you would like to add anything else. That would be awesome, okay?
Okay. Well, I think it's about it in my case.
Good, we cannot
Sorry,
hear you.
I had my microphone turned off. I saw something interesting about the questions, that it was something like the examiner compared the past with the present. Why everything changed? Why did you like it before this and now you like this? Why you to do this and not before? What do you think that have changed that? So it's very interesting that I saw that point twice or three times.
Yeah, because it's like whenever you are encountering this kind of examinations, they're always evaluating. I mean, if you have real domain of all the tenses in English, so that's why he always, swaps from present to past, future, and that is like an overall review during the whole evaluation. Okay, so that's why that's normal. That is going to happen not only here but in all kind of situations in your life. Okay, so don't be afraid and feel free to give all kinds of answers, no matter what kind of tense they're speaking or they're using. Okay.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Any other doubts or concerns, Olga?
The point what or the other point?
About the general activity, about the general interview.
Okay, yes, I think that the point four, using complex and compound sentences. I am good grammar. It's very important. I have usually good grammar in all times. The point five gives the type examples and explanation answer included is important in my opinion. It must I must include who, what, where, who, and why in other questions. For example, adjectives, adverbios,
The
doing the
pronunciation. Uh-huh. And the pronunciation is very, very important, okay, to take into account. Jonathan, anything else to add? Thank you, Olga. Good job.
Okay, actually, I had this morning the interview about CAE speaking, right? So my question is, tutor, what is the difference between CAE speaking and IELTS speaking? Because in CAE speaking, there are 4 parts. In IELTS speaking, there are only 3 parts. Could you tell me what is the difference?
Yeah, sure. The thing is the CAE speaking part is part of the IELTS, okay? Because the IELTS, besides being expensive, that exam is, very complete, because you know that you have to pay. I did it 2 years ago and I paid almost 1 million thousand, almost 1 million because it was 950,000
Very
pesos,
expensive. Almost 1 million
It
pesos,
is
yeah.
very expensive. Okay,
Mm.
and the CAE exam is part of the IELTS. It's like a way to prepare you to take the IELTS exam. All right?
All right, I got it.
Yeah, it's all about practice. It's all about the same kind of practice, and it involves, all the four skills. All right?
Hmm.
All right.
And the
Got it.
CAE is like a practice activity and it's not expensive at all. That's the difference.
Interesting.
Yeah,
time
no,
prepare.
no kidding, people. Like I
Yeah.
told you, like in that 2 encounters ago, it is really expensive, it is very long because, for example, the speaking part is one of the shortest, but the listening and the writing and the speaking are very, very, very long.
Abilities.
Yeah, so imagine, failing that exam, imagine losing your money. That
Oh
would
my
be
God.
terrible.
No, no, no
For
way.
sure.
A lot of
You have
time.
to be very well prepared
A lot of
before
time.
taking
Yeah.
it.
Oh, yeah, that's
I
right.
finish
So,
it very,
you want to
very tired.
Yeah, yeah, because it takes like 2 days. The exam takes like 2 days to do.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Today.
Yeah. So, Edward, you're the one who hasn't given me any other extra comments or doubts about the video?
Well, I think the video was very, very clear and very understandable. I only had, I mean, that part one was, I think it was clear. Only that about part two is that I had when I was reading I was preparing for this encounter. I had some nagging doubts about, that we have to be given like kind of a chart Is that chart, or is a drawing or a picture that we have to be given to prepare for part two? That part I didn't really understand. Could you please explain to me
Yeah,
that
yeah, sure. Yes, the thing is that the exam is, depending on your knowledge, when
Mm-hmm.
you have, because the guy has a chronometer and he's, evaluating even your time.
Mm-hmm.
So after he gives you the opportunity to express yourself or the topic or on the topic that you are given, depending on the way that you give your explanation, he gives you a card to later on write what you just said.
Okay, okay. So I have to write
For
down information
example,
about that chart. Uh-huh.
yeah, in my case, when I did the exam, I
Mm-hmm.
got C2, by the way, and I was really, really, rewarding. When I did my part, the guy gave me the topic and he told me to imagine or to remember a situation that I had gone through in my life.
Oh,
Okay, and
Mm-hmm.
he asked me. That was not even part of the exam yet, that because that's like the verbal part.
Ah, okay.
So he told me to remember a situation that I had been through in the past that had marked my life forever. Okay.
All right.
Okay, when I was, and I gave him, my situation. I spoke about it, and I spoke a situation that I went through when I was like 17 years old in the United States. I was driving my car. I was learning to drive, and I was more or less 19, I remember. And I found a guy who was, stranded on the road. And I explained the story, and I, told the guy everything about it, blah, blah, blah. Okay, he said, okay, time's up. After I finished relating my story, the guy said, no, it's not necessary for you to write your story because I am very satisfied with the way you did it. Okay, so it depends on the way you express yourself on that very first question. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Ah, okay. Got it. Understand. Mm.
And
Interesting.
like I said before, I did that exam with people from the British Council.
Mm-hmm.
And these people are very serious. They
Mm-hmm.
don't laugh, they don't joke, they don't smile, they don't ask you anything, that is not part of the evaluation. They never give you like any extra time either. So you have to be very careful and you have to administrate your time really well.
Mm.
Today
Okay.
is the first encounter the evaluation, the CAE is only 15 minutes. The
Exactly.
part persons
Mm.
is only the response, the time is, yeah, finish
The
Mm.
and
timing is very
number.
important. It's very important. For example, this part A1 is supposed to last from 4 to 5 minutes. I don't know if you remember the information on the
yeah.
video, from
Oh
four to
yeah.
five minutes.
Yes,
Mm. Right. Right.
direct,
Yeah.
directly the question.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. So clear about it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty
All
clear.
right. So now let's put into practice what we have been practicing all this time. Okay, the introduction and the interview. Okay, after all the practice we have been having, for this IELTS part one, all about the speaking part. You guys have been, expressing yourselves. You have been, putting into practice all the knowledge, all the information, the vocabulary. And today is not going to be different. Today we're going to do the very same thing. I'm going to be, but in this case, we're going to be, looking at each other, listening to each other, and maybe you can even evaluate each other, before we finish the encounter, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
So let's put it into practice now. If you guys have nothing more to add, okay?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, we have the introduction and the interview, right? That is IELTS part one. Okay, here the examiners will ask general questions, okay? Will ask the students a whole bunch of general questions like you guys just explained one by one, okay? About
Mm-hmm.
yourselves and a range of familiar topics, okay? These familiar topics are like topics such as home, family, work, studies, and personal interests, okay? And like we said before with Olga, we are supposed to last between 4 and 5 minutes per student in each section, okay? Here, you guys will be able to show your ability to communicate opinions and information on everyday topics and common experiences or situations by answering a range of certain questions, okay? Clear
Okay.
about that?
Yeah, it's clear, pretty clear.
So, okay, good. So who's gonna go? Remember, I'm gonna change things a little bit now.